And so when you study it, the globalists go to these events and they take bigger and bigger doses of drugs. They do electroshock. If you go back to owners of Time Life books, weren't just in the 20s and 30s into LSD and other hallucinogens. And Apothecary, they were getting electroshock. They were having people turn their heart off to like try to communicate with these things to try to be dominant and get that. So you go back thousands of years, Merlin, the archetypal, or these magicians or these wizards are taking drugs in these temples and interfacing with these palantirs, these crystal balls, which aren't really crystal balls. It's their psychic focus of an interdimensional connection while they're on drugs looking into glass to then be able to see the future and understand what's happening to give them temporal power over this planet. But like the Bible tells you, any pharmakia or any of that always leads to destruction because only evil is going to come through that way. So we're basically have these light sockets. We can't jack into the higher unless it's our free will, and that takes time. We jack in to the evil. So you can jack into evil, you can't jack into good right away. So it's quicker, it's easier, like Yoda says about Darth Vader. Quicker, easier, more seductive. And so then I remember being a kid, and my parents, they don't really get mad about this, it's whatever. They didn't even know what they were hearing at the time. But they had friends that they knew at UT that were involved in research projects. And then they were, and 9 times out of 10, I read about research projects in San Francisco. UT has some, MIT has a lot, and shot me anytime you want. But this was in like the 60s. They had virtual reality gloves where you'd put them on and put goggles on, and you'd go into stuff that looked like the holodeck from Star Trek 20 years before it existed. And they were doing surgeries and all this, and they would do empathy loads where they'd say, we need the public because we're so weak because the West is so strong. People haven't had trauma, so they sold them low level. Oh, we're going to create trauma. Like when you go to Mars, you're not getting any gravity, so your heart's no good when you get there.
Who's organizing all this?
Well, they don't tell you. They go, oh, it's a special class you've been out to. So in the 60s, they had gloves.
So there's a special class of people that are organizing all this shit for
It's
what?
the highest scores.
But is it for what purpose?
Well, you don't know.
Financial gain, social
no, it's all
status?
spiritual.
Jack Parsons, was he?
Jet Propulsion Laboratory, Aleister Crowley, Devil Worship. Exactly.
Okay, so wait a minute. So you're saying
Aleister
Jack
Crowley over 100 years ago
Listen to this.
goes to
How
the Great
crazy is
Pyramid and the
this?
aliens give him the plan.
The founder of JPL, Jack Parsons. Have you heard this before?
No, I just can't believe I didn't want to have Alex on the podcast.
No, but have you ever heard that
Let me
before?
finish.
Have you
Let
ever
me
heard
finish.
that?
Just let me say this.
No.
I'm not trying to take over, but it's 2 years ago. But I'm not bullshitting you. Okay, I'm telling you this stuff. I don't believe in this. Okay,
There it is, right there.
This was patented in 1957. It's a VR machine.
Exactly. No, exactly.
That's crazy.
So I've talked
Amazing.
to people, not just family.
Holy shit.
And
Gives you wind, vibration, aromas, stereo sound, color, motion, wide vision, and 3D, three-dimensional.
But let me tell you, they wore a mask in the 60s and 70s that was already like you see like paper thin TV screens. Mm-hmm. And it was already, I talked to them, they said there's no way this was human technology.
So you've seen these foldable phones?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the aliens have already taken over Samsung and Huawei.
Yeah,
See
they're
that
dialed
shit?
in.
Do you think
the point is,
Do you think the aliens are taking over Samsung? Do they have something to do with Samsung?
well, obviously, that's what I'm telling you is the Pentagon isn't worried about
What is all this,
astronauts.
Jamie?
This is the patent.
And notice that's what you said, the 60s?
I believe 1957.
So notice that's exactly what you're. That's what my dad told me.
That's what our HTC Vive looks
That's what
like
a
that we
Vive
have
looks
in the
like now.
today. So see, Joe, this is big.